Now let's head to Egypt, where a commission investigating alleged corruption in the country's wheat supply has delivered its final report to Parliament. And the results are certainly controversial. According to the commission's report, the roughly 5 million tons of grain the government said it procured in this year's harvest exists only on paper. The report concluded that some 200,000 tons of wheat are unaccounted for at 10 private storage sites visited by the Commission. Now, if Egypt's local wheat procurement numbers have been misrepresented, it may have to spend more on foreign wheat purchases to meet domestic demand. While Supplies Minister Khaled Hanafy has not been accused of directly profiting from corruption, many have pinned the blame on his shoulders, calling for his resignation. Well, joining us with an update on this issue is Yasser Hakim in Cairo. Yasser, as always, welcome to the show. Now, Yasser, this could be one of the biggest corruption scandals in Egypt right now, allegedly amounting to billions of Egyptian pounds. Some say the corruption spans across the mid to high levels of the administration. What were the Commission's findings? Give us some insight into that.
Well, concerning the ones responsible, we understand that around 45 officials are in custody now or under arrest and are being investigated for this situation, and most of them are, like you said, from the upper scale down to the farmers and the small employees, because in order to show that there has been a certain X number of grains that have been delivered when they're not been delivered, this shows that even the small farmers have been implicated in this. They have their names put there as ones who have supplied grain and they haven't. And this is a big issue in Egypt right now. Corruption is a big situation, and the leadership is trying to fight off corruption as part of its efforts to attract investments and to rebuild the economy. And it will be a tough situation for the government because corruption has been increasing in the last few years.
Now, Yasser, we talked about some of the tougher consequences of these findings. In terms of government spending and, of course, wheat supplies in the country, can you highlight for us what this means for Egypt and spending, especially now that the government is trying to sort of contain spending?
Exactly. Now the numbers have changed. The numbers we all know, the numbers we have been announced by the government of the production of wheat in Egypt has now been decreased, and even it can be decreased more because the Commission says they might discover even more corruption, more numbers of wheat that has been misrepresented. So we're talking about right now 200,000 tons, 220,000 tons. That means less 220,000 tons. You sort of deduct them from the around 5 million to 5.5 million tons that have been pronounced a production of Egypt this year. And that means that this amount will probably be imported afterwards. So we're talking around $100 million that could be a deficit right now.
Well, many thanks, Yasser, for those insights. Yasser Hakim joining us there in Cairo.